Manchester United are unbeaten in the Premier League against their rivals Manchester City in the Premier League this season. Um, in their worst season in decades, United managed to salvage or managed to get a point at home against rivals Manchester City at Old Trafford. Um, and I can say not a very interesting match, but kind of boring. Yeah, because it lacked the intensity that uh, we were expecting. And Bruno Fernandes said that the VR trying to to bring out the intensity out of the dive, but I don't think I want to talk about that at the moment. But I think 1 point for Manchester United. I think it's not a bad result. But for Manchester City, I think it's not a good result because they need to be in that top four. At the moment, they are 1 point uh, below top four. But for Manchester United, I don't think it changes anything because we are still 13th in the Premier League with the 38 points, having played 31 games um, in the Premier League. We won 10 games, drawn 8, I lost 13, scoring 37 goals and conceding 41. So that's the short story. That's our story so far this season. United having a negative 4 in goal difference. That's it at the moment. We are I can say 7 points. Yeah, we are 7 points below the top 10, and with Southampton being relegated, officially confirmed. Leicester, Ipswich Town are the one next online because Wolves are 17 with 32 points. They are 12 points above the relegation zone. So at the moment, it's all about Ipswich Town and Leicester City. So that's why I don't think the result was a bad result for Manchester United. I think it was a good result for us. 1 point, a clean sheet against our rivals, and being unbeaten in a season where I can say is one of the worst in a decade, in decades. Being unbeaten against Manchester City, that's a good result, and we can take that because the next important game where I think a lot needs to be done is against Lyon Thursday. That is the most very important one. I think the players and board and everybody involved need to take it seriously because that is where our season is looking at the moment, winning the Europa League. I was not surprised by the result against Manchester City because so far this season under Ruben Amorim, Manchester United have always been finding it easy to play against the bigger teams. They've done it against Liverpool at Anfield. They've done it against Arsenal at Old Trafford. Also in the FA Cup against Arsenal at the Emirates. So they did it against Manchester City again as well at the Etihad Stadium. So I wasn't surprised that we lost 1-0 to Forest. And coming into this game, I know there were predictions that United will be conceding 4 goals, maybe 5, 6, but for those who were familiar with Amorim's game, is that he finds it most easy to get the result done against the top sides, and that was the case yesterday against Manchester City at Old Trafford. But one thing that I want to talk about, I want to emphasize on is trying to kill the game as early as possible because against Forest we had chances. Yes, we had chances, but we failed to take them. This has been a story for most games this season. We are creating chances, but we fail to take them, and the opponents have 1, 2, 3 chances, and they're taking one, and that's it. So yesterday against Manchester City, we had quite a couple of chances in the first half. In the first 5 minutes, Alejandro Garnacho had a chance there, but he was fouled by Ruben Diach. Free kick by Bruno Fernandes in a very promising position, but somehow he failed to hit the back of the net. But Patrick Dogu had 2 chances also in the first half, but somehow he failed to take them. In the second half, we also had chances with Jackze, um, also Mason Mount. But also Alejandro Garnacho in the first half had a chance to score from a header, but somehow he failed to hit the target. So these are the reason why United are currently sitting 13 in the Premier League, having a -4 in goal difference, failing to take their chances. Um, I can tell you what, we have created more chances than Nottingham Forest, but Forest are third in the Premier League and we are 13th, having created more chances than Forest. The thing is, we are creating the chances but failing to take them. That is the issue. That means a striker is a priority for United next summer. That's the most thing that they should do, is to get Ruben Amorim a natural striker for next season. Uh, Despite the draw, there were impressive performance by some of the players, which I want to mention out. I was impressed by our defense. Over the past few games, I think our defense has evolved to this new system, the 3-4-3 system, 3-4-2-1 system. At the start of the season, or rather at the start of the Amorim's reign, we had problems defending in most games. Remember, against Ipswich, against Nottingham Forest, against Arsenal. We were having trouble trying to defend because it was a new system and the players are used to 4 at the back, and now it's 3 at the back while attacking and 5 while defending. So it was a challenge at the start, but now I want to say that our defense has evolved, and they are impressive when it comes to defending 3 at the back. And yesterday it was a good outing for our defense. Keeping a clean sheet, it was a very good one. So the back three of Lenny Oro, Harry Maguire, and Nasser Mazroui did well against Manchester City yesterday, trying to keep Omar Mamouche, Phil Foden, and Kevin De Bruyne at bay, and it worked. Also, Lindelof, when he comes on in the second half to replace Harry Maguire, I think he also did well. So I think this is what we want to see in terms of our defending. But in terms of our scoring, this is where now is the problem, because that is where our most problem is. Creating the chances, yes, we are creating those chances, but finishing them, it is a problem, and the players need to improve on that, and as quick as possible, because we need that result against Lyon, both home and away. We are playing also Newcastle away. Very important game as well in the Premier League. So I want to point out some players that I think need to improve. When I look at Alejandro Garnacho, he's a very good player. Yeah, he always create chances. He always be on the right time, at the right place at the right time. That is, but somehow he is too weak. Yeah, he's too weak, and sometimes he lacks confidence. His shooting is also it's not good enough. So for Garnacho, I think we can say he's still young, but he needs to improve a lot. He needs to improve, because if he was doing the best, I know his abilities. Maybe he's distracted by the news surrounding his future at Old Trafford. So I think that's why maybe it's not well committed in the pitch at the moment. So I won't be surprised if Garnacho is sold next summer, but it depends on if United will get what they want for him, because I don't think United will accept anything below 60 million euros for Alejandro Garnacho. So the interested clubs still remain. Chelsea are still interested. Napoli still also interested, but I don't think United will be willing to sell Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea. So maybe we can talk about a swap deal involving Alejandro Garnacho and Victor Osimhen from Napoli. That is a possibility that can happen. So we keep an eye on that. For Rasmus Højlund, I don't know what to say about that guy, because he doesn't make any effort. He doesn't make any effort, and him being the playing as a lone striker in the 3-4-2-1 formation, you need to be up there. You need to be up there. You need to be showing the strength. I watched Fulham versus Liverpool yesterday when I was waiting for the derby. And I saw Rodrigo Munoz of Fulham when he scored the third goal. I was comparing him to Rasmus Højlund in that position. Tell you what, if that was Højlund, he could not have scored that goal. But you saw that Munoz showed strength against Van Dijk, and he scored the goal past uh, Liverpool's goalkeeper. Yesterday, Højlund had a chance, similar one against Ruben Dias, but somehow he doesn't have the energy. Maybe he doesn't have the confidence to to protect the ball, or maybe to go on one against an opposing defender, and also his positioning is poor. I know most of you always complain that he doesn't get the services he needs and blah blah blah. But one thing you don't understand is that you can't get the services if you are in the wrong position, the wrong place at the right time, or at the wrong time. So because yesterday, Bruno Fernandes had a chance. Guess who was in the box? Ugarte. Ugarte, the CDM, was in the box, but Højlund, he was coming in, was running towards the box as if he was a defender coming to attack. So you can argue if Ugarte was the striker and Højlund was the CDM, or maybe the defender, because in the 3-4-1 formation, you need to be active. You need to make those runs. That's the only way you can perform in this formation. So there was some good news yesterday regarding our retiring players. With Eden Heaven was spotted arriving with the group. He might be recovering from his injury, that is, and maybe it's a good news. We can see him maybe the next coming games. Kobe Menu, according to Ruben Amorim, he will be involved. Maybe he's in training at the moment, and he might be involved in the game against Lyon. Mathis de Ligt, I don't know if his injury is that much serious, but it was just a knock, and I don't think the staff wanted to take a risk, and maybe he will be recovered at the time of first Lyon on Thursday. So that's just a bit of injury boost. Having players returning from injury, it's a good news for the club. So I hope even Maino and the league will be available against Lyon. I want to see Bayern starting goal against Lyon, that is, because Onana has played a lot of games and he need to rest as well. So also I want to see Luke Shaw getting some minutes. He returned yesterday in the bench against Manchester City. So that's also a good news for the club. And when players are returning from injury, and we are having the option in the bench, that is how it will be. So not a bad game yesterday, but we should have won the game if we took our chances. But 1 point, a clean sheet against our rivals City is not a bad result. Unbeaten against our neighbors in our worst season in decades. So next is Lyon, quarterfinals, first leg away.